Petergate is one of the most fascinating streets in York. Georgian and medieval houses that lean precariously hold a wealth of history in their heavily beamed rooms. But don't be fooled into thinking these are museum pieces. Petergate was named after York Minster, which is dedicated to St. Peter, and one of its grandest properties in the Georgian mansion at 62 Low Petergate. It was once home to Dr. Alexander Hunter, the founding physician of the city's infamous lunatic asylum, and from the late 19th century became York College for Girls. Many of Petergate's treasures can be found hidden in the ancient Snickerway, some with splendid names like Mad Alice Lane, which leads to Swinegate. Lund Court, one of the most haunted places in York. The lane often has an eerie feeling, like someone is walking beside you. Who is Mad Alice? She was a York resident who was arrested and hanged in 1825. What was the reason for her execution? Insanity. However, there are some stories that claim Alice tried to poison her husband. Whatever the reason, she was executed. Her apparition is often seen wandering aimlessly down the lane. Each shop claims to have its own ghost. This is unsurprising, as it is one of York's oldest streets, with some buildings dating from the 14th century and some plots of land having existed since the Viking Age. One ghost appeared regularly for more than 100 years, from Victorian times until the 1940s. Each morning, when dozens of people walk up the Shambles from the slums to work, they saw a tall, well-dressed gentleman wearing a bowler hat standing outside or in the window. Sometimes he would smile or wave or doff his hat to ladies. One woman witnessed this occurrence regularly from her teenage years through to her 40s. When she tried to talk to him, he disappeared. Strangely, he has not been seen since the Second World War. If you know the history of the Salem witch trials, you will have heard all about Giles Corey. He was pressed to death, but it took him 3 days to die. The horrible torture of being pressed to death also occurred in York to a woman named Margaret Cloughrow. Her crime, hiding Catholic priests in her house, as England was incredibly anti-Catholic. Her punishment was to be taken to the toll booth on Ouse Bridge Lying on the ground, the door to her house was placed on top of her, and a large stone was piled on top. Luckily for Margaret, she did not suffer the same fate as Giles Corey. Instead of living for 3 days, she died within 15 minutes.